to ask you very directly about these Trump administration claims that Ohio State is one of 60 universities that they deemed may have anti-Semitic practices and policies on campus. They say you're being investigated for them and for failing to end diversity policies, which could be a violation of the Civil Rights Act. What's the status of the probes and how much pressure are you under?
To be quite frank, I'm not feeling a lot of pressure. Our understanding is we're on those lists because we had been previously on those lists under the Biden administration. We had been working with the Office of Civil Rights during that administration, and I think mostly that was a holdover. We are more than happy to talk to anybody from the Office of Civil Rights. We stand behind our actions. We know how we acted during the time of the protests. We never had an encampment here at Ohio State. We had some attempted. We didn't allow that, and that's our longstanding rules on the Oval, which is the centerpiece of our campus. So I'm confident that as this plays out forward, that we're going to be just fine.
The Trump administration did publish Ohio State on the list of universities it's probing. And when you look at some of the issues they've raised at other places, you look at the result of freezing $3 billion in contracts at Harvard, $1 billion at Cornell, hundreds of millions of dollars of research funding at universities like Brown. Are you worried that your federal funds could be in jeopardy because of this?
Well, like I always say to my staff and my people, if we do the right things for the right reasons, everything will play out. And we've been doing it that way since I've been here, since 1 January of 2024. Our research funding here at Ohio State has grown leaps and bounds over the last couple of years. We're actually ranked number 11th in the country, ahead of Harvard, ahead of UNC Chapel Hill. Our revenues last year were $1.6 billion. $775 million of that came from the federal government, largely in NIH and NSF. As we sit here today, we've had some research grants impacted, but in the tens of millions of dollars, nothing like you're seeing at our Ivy League colleagues. And a lot of that is still in litigation. So I can't even tell you what the number of dollars that we may lose. But against the $1.6 billion, it's pretty small, even though it's had some impact on some of our researchers. Unlike some of our counterparts, we have a significant research arm here, 14,000 faculty, postdoc students that do the research here, and it is significant. It goes way beyond the numbers and the dollars. It's what it's doing for the community, what it's doing to extend and save and change lives, and what it's doing in agriculture, what it's doing for our police force. So what I would tell you is at this moment today, even compared to where we were last year, we're still up in our research revenue about 7% from where we were last year, and we're proceeding to ask for more grants so that we can be a cancer-free world here in our lifetime.
Well, we all hope for that future, sir. But you sound not to be concerned. But I did read that earlier when you had the Buckeyes football team at the White House earlier in the year, and that was well covered, the Wall Street Journal said you told President Trump and Vice President Vance that, quote, Ohio State is not the enemy. Why did you feel you had to say that? What did you mean?
Well, that might have been taken a little bit out of context. I kind of said that in jest a little bit to the Vice President when I had a chance to meet with him. And we had a long conversation. It was a very productive conversation. I won't go into all the details, but the point is they know that Ohio State is doing the right things for the right reasons. I have said publicly that I believe the future of higher education is going to go through the large public land grant flagship institutions like The Ohio State University. I look at what we're doing today, and yes, like many other universities, there's a lot of concern about the future, what's coming out of the federal government, and even what's coming out of our state government here in Ohio. But right now, I feel like we can still play defense, still understand how to adjust, kind of make sure that we're getting our bat on the ball, so to speak, and playing defense and protecting the plate. But we're also looking at how we can play offense. This is a time where institutions like Ohio State, we are very financially secure. We're actually looking to invest in ourselves. You know, I just reflect on the graduation ceremony that we just had this past May. We produce about 18,000 graduates a year, but at that ceremony, we graduated 12,400. All of them, by the way, got their diploma that day that they earned. And 90% of those students, 90% already had a job or they were going to another higher academic endeavor. And 70% of those undergraduate students are staying in the state of Ohio. 66% of the PhD and masters are staying in the state of Ohio. This is a wonderful workforce development program that is what is raising the confidence of Ohioans and the American public in higher education. And that is starting to change.
Vice President